This is a video for Liz's Nutcrackers. Well, everyone, we took Barley down to Aiken, South Carolina to contest the 4-star short at the Oktoberfest. This is sort of one of the premier 4-star shorts, and we were using this as our sort of final run as we get him ready to head over to do the Po 5-star in a couple of weeks. All in all, I'm very, very pleased with Barley. There was the bulk of the competition was very, very good. We had a couple of moments that we still need improvement on, but all in all, we had a good run. The good run started with our sort of best ever dressage test. Silver and I have been sort of working really, really hard on Barley, and I nearly got him figured out. He did a really, really good dressage test. We scored a 29.5, so we got a 69% from one judge and a 71% from the other judge, which actually left us leading the contest on a score of 29.5. The good news is the part that I've been sort of struggling a little bit with the flying changes, and thanks to my dear wife, I think I've finally figured them out. I had 2 good clean flying changes in the test. The dressage is a strong point for Barley. He's a tricky horse. He can get a little bit nervous and he's a bit quirky, but he also can be a bit quiet and behind the leg. So it's a bit of a tricky ride where you don't want him too quiet and too dead for the dressage because he gets a little lazy or a little flat. I have to say our warm-up was spectacular. It was quite a hot day, and I really felt like he warmed up better than ever. Once he gets into the ring, he almost gets a little bit too quiet. It's unusual. It's different to most horses that actually get a little nervous in the ring. So starting to know him a bit better now, I think I'm going to go for a bit of a shorter warm-up at Po and sort of almost leave a little bit of energy in him, just because he's quite well behaved in the test. And if anything, I'd actually like him a little bit more excited in the ring. He almost gets a little bit slow and hesitant in the ring. Saying that, I've been sort of working away at his frame. I'm in awe of how Liz had him going. I've been studying some of the videos of her when she had him sort of really humming along, and she has this beautiful uphill frame, and I've still struggling to get there, to be honest, but we're slowly but surely we're improving. I think when we get the good news is he'll fly to Po, he'll fly to France, so he'll actually get 3 or 4 rest days. I'm going to send Bradley, a Canadian guy that's worked for me for 10 years, to be the groom on the flight with Barley, and Brad will look after him in France, and he'll probably just hack for a couple of days until I meet him in Paris and on the Monday. So in a weird kind of way, I actually think that this suits Barley. It'll let him freshen up, and sometimes working him harder and harder and harder can backfire a little bit. So we've been training very, very hard. We've been working hard in the dressage. Sometimes we do 2 sessions a day. He's been galloping and galloping and galloping, and it actually do him good to ease off a little bit the week or 2 before and let him freshen up. So this is our first flying change, which I'm very proud of. This is the easier one. He did that beautiful. And then the second change, which is the left to right lead change, has been our biggest challenge, and it's a complicated exercise. I've got to hold the left rein, I've got to loosen the right rein in the air, I've got to have my left leg on him in the change so he doesn't drift left. There's a lot of things to think about when you're riding him. Anyway, I managed to pull it off in the test here, which is great success. Boom. Champion, Barley. Well done. Anyway, so 29.5, it's getting, obviously he should be in the 20s every time. It's nearly the first test that we've done that's been mistake-free. Extended trot, we had a rhythm mistake where I pushed him a little bit too hard and he had a bit of a skip there. So Peter Wild was at our farm earlier in the week. He came to the farm on Tuesday. Peter actually jump schooled Barley for us. I think I sent you some video of our training session. Barley's jumping fantastic. I feel like he's sort of up in the air. This was sort of Barley's third ride on Friday, so I got up very early and gave him a pre-ride. Then we did the dressage test. Then a couple of hours later we did the show jumping round. So basically he was actually quiet. It was very hot and humid, and he was very, very rideable. And I was over the moon with the way he was jumping. If you remember earlier this year, we were a little bit dodgy at the beginning of the rounds over fence 1 and 2, and he was also a little bit sticky turning left. And all that stuff is dissipated. You'll see in a moment we did have one bad moment. I really don't know what happened. It was an oxer bending left 7 strides to a vertical. I watched some of the other horses do the round, and a few of them were doing an add in 8. The time was quite tight, so I wanted to do an inside 7. So it's this oxer, left turn, 7 strides, and I felt like I got him pretty good to the jump, and then I don't know if he misread it or he looked through it or he looked at something on the back of the jump, but he just didn't pick up on the fence. It was just a huge surprise. I could have sworn we were going for a perfectly brilliant round, so it was a surprise. So, but you never know, maybe it's a blessing in disguise that we had a mistake in the ring. Sometimes if they bump into a jump on course, they sort of remember it the next time they compete. And that's sort of what this whole weekend was about. It was ensuring that this was our preparation event towards Po. So obviously this is the cross country, and Barley was absolutely sensational. I went pretty quick on him. I think I was the 3rd or 4th fastest time in the cross country. I didn't go crazy fast. Like, I still sort of balanced him up. I didn't take any crazy chances, but the footing was good. So I sort of sprinted him a little bit between the fences, but without being ridiculous. I sort of, in my head, I knew that we probably wouldn't win the contest because of our rail. Unfortunately, we picked up a flag penalty. It's at this next fence. It came down here, and there was a bit of an arena eventing, similar to the show jumping. Like, I don't know if he was a little distracted, but as we took off, he misread the fence, and maybe I went for a bit of a long one and a chip, and unfortunately we knocked the flag out. I was thinking that we could protest it, but Leslie Laura, our chef to keep, took a look at the video, and he said, listen, it was a fair decision by the ground jury to give you a 15 penalty flag rule. So it's a bit of a bugger. I think we would have finished 3rd or 4th, but all in all, we had a good performance. Obviously, the result wasn't what we were looking for. We were sort of hoping more for a top placing, but we finished in 5th or 6th or something like that, or 7th. Anyway, it was a good fitness run. I feel like we're on track. We still have a bit of work to do though, but we've got time. We've got 3 or 4 weeks now. I feel like the horse is super fit. We've got the dressage together. We've got to fine tune a little bit the rideability in the show jumping, and a little bit the sort of reaction riding in the cross country on a few of these turns. So all in all, I feel like it was a good performance, and we're in good shape. We'll get Kevin to look at him this week and make sure he's in good health. But I think we're a good chance, guys. I've got a good feeling about Po. He's up on his toes. He's eager, and I think we're going to have a real crack at it in France. So anyway, guys, I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of you over. I'll see some of you at Morven, but hopefully a bunch of you guys are coming out to the south of France.